kitchen day video. So that's what's happening. Hello and welcome to my channel if you're new here, and welcome back if you're returning. I'm Shayla and this is Mountain Mama's Home. My kitchen days are long, and after filming the kitchen day, I had too much footage for one video. So I have special news. Starting now through the entire month of May, we are going to be doing kitchen days every Monday. That's right, this turned into a series. I will really be breaking down my kitchen day for you, and I hope that you get a lot out of this series. As I begin this kitchen day, it's early in the morning, and it is a dark and very foggy morning here where we live deep in the woods. I absolutely love days like this, but I am gonna light a candle to kind of set the mood in the kitchen. Two little beeswax tea lights I get from Azure Standard. I've talked in previous videos about my kitchen days. I usually like to have them twice a month at least, but it's not always possible. In fact, I think I've gone a whole month without a kitchen day. I'm very behind on my kitchen day, and you can tell. I have two kinds of kitchen days. The kitchen day where I go through, I deep clean, I clean off my butcher block island and I treat it, and then I will also seal the counters and just do a really deep cleaning and clean the fridges and everything. I also go through and organize the spaces that have become disorganized. Since we have a larger family and over half the family cooks, spaces tend to get disorganized pretty quickly. So that is another thing that I will do on my main organizing and cleaning kitchen day. So there's the organizing and cleaning kitchen day, but then there's also the kitchen day where I go through and I bake and I cook and I just make as much food as I can for the week ahead, and even try to get some freezer dishes in. Today's kitchen day is going to be a little bit of both because it's been over a month since I've had a kitchen day. So I have a lot of catching up to do. I'm going to do the cleaning and organizing in some areas that need it, but then I also have some things to put away. We had our big shopping day yesterday. About once every other month or once every 3 months, I go to the big city and do a huge grocery shopping haul. So yesterday was the day, and I did the Costco run, and I got stocked up on spices and things that we can't grow here or are not able to at this time of year, like cheeses. But today I have spices to put away. I have gluten-free flour that I need to make. I need to make a couple little dishes. So this is going to be a combination of both kitchen days. In this video, my primary focus is going to be restocking. What you're looking at right now is our pantry. We also have a cellar downstairs. The cellar and the pantry are probably about divided. This is about half of our pantry items right here. Now, a few days ago, I did go through and I did this with the family, since the family will often use things and we will run out and they forget to tell me. So together we went through everything and got an assessment of what we needed before I went to do my big city shopping day. We were out of so much this time. It was a long winter and kind of a hard one too. It's nice to get at least semi-stocked up right now though. And I have a funny story. We were almost out of rice, among other things. I decided to start buying brown rice for nutritional purposes. My daughter opened up the bucket and she asked, "What is this? It's brown." And I had to laugh. She thought jasmine rice only came in white. I have a checklist that I've created for cleaning our kitchen. It's what I use on our main cleaning kitchen day. On our cooking kitchen day, that is definitely seasonal. If you are interested, I do have a kitchen checklist for cleaning up after each meal, and it is nice for the people in the house that clean up after a meal if it's not you doing it every time. And if you have family members that pitch in, it's just a nice checklist. I also have little cards that can be used in place of it if you have younger people helping to clean the kitchen. Basically, it's just so that things won't be forgotten that are important to be cleaned after each meal. Being a large family, we do buy a lot of our foods in bulk because it is much more affordable. Storing bulk items can be a challenge though. I keep our bulk foods in a couple different things. One of them is those 3, 4, and 5 gallon buckets like what you saw earlier. And another one is these containers. These are containers I got off of Amazon, and I love them because they take up real estate space going up in my cabinet instead of going out. Like I used to use round gallon jars for keeping the bulk items in this cabinet here, but round took up too much space. These being square meant I could get more of them into the cabinet, and they're taller than a gallon jar too. I really like these and the organization that they bring for this cabinet. I must tell you what I'm doing in this scene. So you know how when you buy bulk items, the cooking instructions usually get thrown out with the bag? Well, I learned to cut the cooking instructions out before I throw the bag away and keep it in the container with the bulk items. That way I'm not always wondering, okay, how long was I supposed to cook this for again? How much water was I supposed to add? I buy most of my spices from Azure Standard. They have the best priced and the highest qualities that I've ever found. And I was reminded of that yesterday because when I was in the big city, my husband and I located a spice store. And the reason that we went there is because there were certain spices I couldn't find at Azure that I needed for my Indian cooking recipes, like these kaffir lime leaves and Ajwan Kashmiri chili, as well as amchur. And these 4 little bags of spices are the ones I got at the spice store. And I was reminded, as I saw their prices on other spices that they had, why I shop at Azure. Do you see that big pound bag of cayenne pepper there? Well, a little tiny bag at the spice store costs more than what this big bag of cayenne pepper cost at Azure Standard. I wish Azure had the rest of the ingredients that I needed for the Indian cooking, but they didn't, so I had to get them at the spice store. I also found a good deal on smoked paprika at Winco. I used to struggle with spice organization until I found these jars. I absolutely love these jars. Perhaps you already saw them in a video I did last fall on kitchen organization with kitchen organization tips. This drawer was a lot tidier than I need to clean out this drawer today and organize it, obviously. So that is one of my projects. My family's been jamming all kinds of things into the side over here that don't belong. So I need to remedy this today. And I need to refill some of the jars. The primary problem in this drawer is my family's trying to put little jelly jars jamming down on the side, and that makes it so every time you take one of the spice jars out, they all collapse, and then you got to rearrange it each time. So I have a really annoying project that I've been putting off for weeks and weeks. And it is to try to get the labels, the sticky labels, off some smaller spice jars that I've been saving and basically recycling. So I've got these little teeny tiny jars here, they're spice jars, and I'm going to get the label off. And that way I will be able to relabel them and use them, and they'll fit perfectly down beside my larger spice jars. I hate those little tiny annoying projects where they don't take a terrible amount of time, but they take enough time that you don't want to get to them right away because you've got more important things to do. So you just put them off. And then the longer you put them off, the bigger it seems like they become and the more annoying they are to tackle. And pretty soon, before you know it, you have a whole bunch of them like stacked up, a whole bunch of projects that are going to now take a long time. So while those jars are heating up, I'm going to clean some duck eggs. If you also like to recycle jars, something that I have found to help get the gooey sticky glue off of jars like this is lemon essential oil. Lemon essential oil or orange essential oil work great. The label on that one came off pretty well, but it's not going to on this next one because it's got a paper coating as well as the glue, and those always get stuck on. But the essential oils of orange or lemon are great at getting all the rest of that goo off and getting the jar perfectly clean. An affordable low-income tip is to always save your little spice jars and jars that have similar lids. That is one of my biggest tips. If you've got like a bunch of random ones with a bunch of wacky sized lids, you might not want to save those ones, but ones that have more of a generic lid, save those. Or if it's something you buy a lot of, save those jars. You can create a streamlined look with a lot of the same style of jars, and you can literally save hundreds of dollars doing that versus versus like going onto Amazon and buying a whole bunch of pretty jars because they match. Now, as you'll notice with my other jars, I did end up doing that only because after years of trying, I couldn't collect quite enough of the style of jar that I was going for that would fit perfectly in my jar. And I needed a perfectly sized measurement to fit down inside my spice drawer. And I just couldn't find one. So I finally caved and bought these jars that I bought. But now I need something to go along beside because it's not quite big enough beside to fit another row of jars, but these will fit perfectly, which is great because not all of my spices come in large quantities. Some of them do come in smaller quantities, and so these are perfectly sized.
Whenever you're down, out in the cold, faithless and dark, your story's untold. Come take my hand and walk there with me. I know a place where we can be free. There is a light shining for you, guiding your way, helping you through. When shadows and gloom are all that you see, we'll find a place where we can be free. From the mountain top down to the deepest valley, hear a voice calling you. It's the rising sun shining in the darkest alley. Can't you see you will be free? I have been far, I have been wide, searching for peace, somewhere to hide. Now I am free, open and pure, fearless and babe, I am secure.
I found these spice lids at Azure Standard and I immediately thought of some uses for them. One of the uses is, of course, Parmesan cheese, and another use is chili pepper flakes. I use chili pepper flakes on so much of my food. I love them. They seem very well made and they work very well. I also used a couple of them for my husband's spice rubs. He makes certain rubs for chicken and beef, so I got these for him as well. I decided to use one on our quart of cayenne too because we've been using a lot of cayenne lately, and I figured it would be nice to be able to just open up the larger spout and use that to put the cayenne into our lemon water.
No doubt that can be lived. We'll find a way if we just commit. We are the one. There is no them and us. Together we're strong. Together we're free. From the mountain top down to the deepest valley, hear a voice calling you. It's the rising sun shining in the darkest valley. Can't you see you will be free? Can't you see you will be free?
On kitchen day, when I'm going through all of my drawers and cabinets and pantry, I'll usually find something like this hummus that needs to be made. We got this hummus quite a while back, never jarred it. It's just been sitting in the bag waiting to be used. One of my middle sons had requested it when he saw it, so I bought it for him, but didn't get a chance to make it until now. So I'm mixing it up for a snack for today and the upcoming days this week. I have learned on these really big project days that I am inclined to skip meals. And when I skip meals, my blood sugar crashes. And then I suddenly find myself in the middle of a big, huge project with a whole bunch of stuff drug out and no energy or mental clarity to put it all away. And I learned it's because I don't feed myself well on big project days. So I'm trying to be better about snacking and eating on my biggest project days and trying to stop forgetting to eat. This hummus really hit the spot. Maybe you noticed just a second ago there was a little helper in the kitchen. I have this one son that ever since he was a little boy, he is watching when I'm in the kitchen when I don't realize he's watching. Even as a little 2 and 3-year-old, if I had to go somewhere and my husband would be trying to cook a meal and didn't know where something was, the little guy would know where whatever it was he was looking for. It was really amazing. But he saw me working in the kitchen and refilling things, and he likes to bake. So he asked me if he could refill all of the baking items, and I said, of course. So he's over here helping me refill the vanilla, cocoa powder, some of the other items. I like to decant things into prettier jars. I found this jar at Goodwill and I knew it would be perfect for vanilla. It has a cork. When I am baking, I like having everything in reach. I don't like having to dig things out to bake. I like being able to just whip up the recipes in a short amount of time because time is something I'm short on. Since I homeschool, I have a farm and a part-time job, I have to make sure that my kitchen time is most efficient. I have to make sure everything I do is efficient. There's no time to lollygag or dawdle. Having my canisters on the counter like this makes me feel more like coming into the kitchen and baking. If things were shoved away in drawers and I had to drag things out all the time, or if they were across the large room over in the pantry and I had to make multiple trips to go get things all the time, I wouldn't be as inclined to bake, or I would bake and be irritated the whole time. So I like having my things out where I can easily access them. If you're new here, you don't know this, but in my videos, I like to add a little devotional. Sometimes a whole video is a devotional, but in most of the videos, there's just a short devotional. And I thought in the Kitchen Day series, it would be a neat idea to do short devotionals on serving. In Ephesians 6:7-8, it reads, "Rendering service with a good will, as to the Lord and not to man, knowing that whatever good anyone does, this he will receive back from the Lord, whether he is a slave or free." I'm gonna tell you a little secret about me. I do a lot of cooking videos. I do a lot of cooking. It is not actually my most favorite thing to do. It can be, but in my situation, my kitchen gets disorganized quite quickly. So a lot of my time cooking is spent trying to find who put what where last. I understand why some women of times gone by wouldn't let anybody in their kitchen to use their kitchen. I completely get that. In our situation, that would never ever work. So that Bible verse is perfect for me. It's perfect for me to keep on the forefront of my mind whenever I feel that kitchen anxiety or frustration. Another thing that helps me when I'm in the kitchen to enjoy myself is to have music on. When I go into the kitchen at the end of the day to make dinner, my energy is usually the lowest, and that is when I need a boost badly. And without music, I find that it's just kind of a drag and I'm tired just plodding through the kitchen. Turn that music on, game changer. In fact, I don't like to work out, and I found that if I go into the kitchen early, turn the music on, I can actually dance around the kitchen and get some dance moves in while I'm making dinner, and it's an enjoyable experience. And the best part is I get a workout in and dinner done at the same time. Okay, stay tuned for the next video and part in this series. Thank you for watching to the end.